I was thinking, and the only reason the gospel matters, not the only, but a big reason why the gospel matters, is that without the gospel, all the promises in the Bible that God makes would not even apply to you. And it's because of the gospel that the entire story of the Bible applies to you personally, regardless of your religious background, regardless of where you're from, regardless of what you look like, regardless of anything. There's nothing that disqualifies you from it. Let me explain. So the Bible stems from Abraham, essentially. The story of Abraham, and God makes a promise of Abraham. We'll talk about that later because I don't want to get into the specifics right now. But essentially, he blesses Abraham and he makes a promise with him and his ancestors. And he's like, I'm going to be faithful to you, your people. I'm going to make many nations out of you. And Abraham, his name at first was Abram, which is like father of many or something like that. But he couldn't have kids. And so he was like, God, I can't have kids. And God was like, listen, I'm going to make you the father of many nations, aka Abraham. And so, fast forward a few generations, right? These promises were just for Abraham and his family, and Abraham and his descendants, and they became the Israelites. Now we keep going. We get down to Jesus, right? Did you know that it is actually Joseph who is in the line of Abraham, not Mary? So Mary, who's the one who actually, who gave birth to Jesus, who, was God's son, she wasn't in the bloodline of Abraham because it wasn't about blood. The blood was the faithfulness part, but the reason why it came through Mary, he did the whole virgin giving birth situation, is so that we know it's not about blood. It's about spirit. Because his dad, Joseph, is of the line. Now Mary has him. And when Jesus dies, he gives us his spirit. That's the Holy Spirit, right? So Jesus dies, gives us his spirit, and us having his spirit puts us in that line of inheritance of the promise that he gave to Abraham. And without that happening, without Jesus dying, without the whole, gospel New Testament happening, it would not apply to us. It would not apply to us at all. And so it may be as simple, Jesus died for our sins. But it's like when you really understand the implications of what that means, right? Especially on your walk with faith. You may be trying to grow in a relationship with God, right? If you're watching this video, that's the series we're in. We're talking about growing a relationship with God. So you may be thinking about it, contemplating it. You're curious as to what that looks like for people. You're like, oh, why is Brian feel so confident talking about this? Because y'all were going through it. And as I'm going through this process, I face so many times when I feel like I'm not worthy. I feel like I keep falling to the same sin. I keep making the same mistakes. I go down rabbit holes of the same darkness, And I have to remember, I needed this so much. The literal point of the gospel is that you could never earn that. You could never earn that kind of love. God literally loved his creation. He loved people so much that he gave his only son to pay the price of every mistake we thought of making, every mistake we were going to make in the future, knowing that we'd be doing stupid things over and over again. He knew that, right? Because God is outside of time. So he was aware, and he was like, nah, G, I need to be back with these people. I need to be one with them. So he sent his son to pay for the price of that sin, because that sin is what was keeping us away from God in the first place. We're going to go back. Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve, they're with God. They live with him. They can talk to him. They rely on him. God provides them with everything. Now, the serpent, the enemy, is crafty. And he says some stuff, and they end up making a mistake. They end up not listening to what God said. They end up being disobedient. So now God's like, okay, y'all need to leave. Y'all need to get out of this place because you ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. If y'all eat from the tree of life, you will never die. And Jesus can't die if you guys never die. So that can't happen. Y'all need to leave, right? So now God is like, dang, I just made these people and I want to be with them. But he had to go through the entire Old Testament to show so that we could see just how much he loved us. Because just saying, oh, I love you guys so much wouldn't do it and wouldn't do enough for us. It wouldn't make it clear enough, you know? Like imagine for you to get a point across to someone you love, you need to show that your love endures generations. Your love endures betrayal. Your love endures your rage. You heard that right. Even though you're mad, even though he was mad, because he got mad. God got mad, y'all. He had emotions. He got mad at people. He got mad at us. And I read back, when you read through the Old Testament, you realize, dang, we were really crazy. Because what were people doing? But then you're like, dang, I be doing that too. I really be doing that too. You realize he knew all that. He knew all that. And he still decided to send his son. And his son was like, I'm going to show these people how to do it. Because the son didn't want to do it. Jesus wasn't like, oh yes, kill me, please. Nah, G, we know he was scared. I don't know if you guys heard, but like it says how he was sweating blood. Like it was like there was like blood coming out of him when he was sweating before the crucifixion happened, because he knew what had to happen to him. But that kind of sweat only happens when you're super nervous, when you're afraid, deathly afraid of something. So he had the human feelings of like, oh my gosh, these people are actually gonna hurt me so bad. But he kept going through with it because of love, because he loved the Father. So he wanted to be obedient to the Father, and he also knew that this was the only way to please the Father, was for him to die for us. Me personally, I wouldn't make that up. But anyways, I digress. So when you're going through your walk with faith, right? If you're just thinking, or you're like curious about it, you might see nowadays Christians be doing a lot of stuff. We be doing a lot of stuff because we all going through it. We all are dealing with life, and you want to solely identify with all the goodness of God, right? I wanted to be so one with God that I would just feel joy. I would just feel happiness. I would just, feel all the good things. I don't want to feel the bad things. But you need those bad things to remind you that it's not your works that earned this love. It's like if you never fall, you wouldn't understand the gravity of someone dying for you, knowing you were going to fall continually. You wouldn't understand that, And it's that death. It's Jesus dying on the cross. That him dying, giving us the Holy Spirit, is what puts us in line of that inheritance. It puts us in line to receive all the blessings of the kingdom of heaven. It clears our name in God's eyes, because he was like, yeah, these people can't do it. And it shows when you read the Old Testament, it shows how many times and how bad, because people were wilding back then. Like, I don't even know if people know this, but Abraham even himself was not a great guy. Moses was not the best, you know what I'm saying? Like, God saw him as righteous, but Mans did not want to do any. He kept wanting to run away from responsibility. He was like, God, I don't want to do this. Please give it to someone else. God was like, you're going to do it. He said, I can't speak, God. He said, I'll make your brother speak for you. And then it's just like, there's so many people in the Bible that God uses. And if you actually looked and read about them and knew their story, you realize that God uses so many unsuspecting people to show his glory. And because he is so powerful and he knows that, and the only way for him to show is to be like, okay, listen, I'm gonna let my son die for you, knowing you're going to do all the foolishness you're going to do, because I want you to just understand a little bit of how much my love for you is, so that when you fall, whenever you're going through your walk with faith and you fall, you don't have to hide away from him, because he already knew. And he said he didn't say, I'm saying he said, I don't know about all that. But God wants to be with his creation, because he made his creation in his image, and he saw it was good. Man, that is good. And so if you are questioning, or you're curious, or you're just, click on this video just because when you make a mistake, right, on your walk with faith, if you fall into sin, it's not for you to, feel shame. It's not for you to think you're disqualified, to think anything you could have done in the past has disqualified you from his love. It's for you to remember that you didn't have to earn that love. Even in your ugly, even in your, in your addiction, even in your depression, God loved you. He loves you. So he loves, not even loved, but loves. He loves you in all that because he sees the end. He sees you. If you surrender your life to him, he sees the goodness that'll come from that. And it's so simple, but so many times when we want to learn something new, we look for a feeling, we look for something that's going to be so eye-opening, so new, to give us a rush, to fan that flame. But it's the basics, y'all. The basics are going to keep you grounded. The basics are going to keep you rooted. And if you're thinking about, trying out this Jesus thing, trying out, believing in who he said he was, remember, okay? I'm gonna come in close to the microphone for this one. Remember that you didn't earn it, and you don't have to earn it. Faith without works is dead. Yes, that is true. But it's not your works that bring the faith alive. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if that made sense. But it's not you trying to be a perfect person that will make God love you. It's in fact you believing that he loves you that will cause you to want to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? And so it'll cause you to want to rely on him. It'll cause you to want to change, to want to renew your heart, to renew your mind, and align yourself more with him and his word, and stand on that instead of standing on how you feel, instead of standing on what society is saying, instead of standing on stuff that literally changes with the times. You know what I'm saying? Like, stand on something that is reliable. And so the basics, it may seem boring, but it is really all that matters. All you have to believe is that Jesus died. He paid the price for your sins. That's all you have to believe. Once you believe that, you're putting yourself into that inheritance, and God knows that. So I just pray that this video reaches whoever the Holy Spirit wants it to reach. I hope that whoever is listening to this, that you learn something from this, that you become aware that God is calling to your soul. I hope that you become aware that regardless of what you did today, whatever you did last night, whatever you did last week, last year, whatever you did at any point of your life that you think disqualifies you from being loved, that you think disqualifies you from something that you haven't yet felt, and because you haven't felt it, you think you can't believe it. I hope this message is reaching you, and that you understand that when you belief is the only payment that God required. That's the only thing that he wanted us to do just to receive his gift. Because if you believe it, you're receiving the gift. He's giving you the gift. The gift has been given. The work has been done. You only have to believe. Now, how to believe, that's a whole different thing. And if y'all want to hear about that, let me know, because we can talk about it. But as simple as it may sound, first, the gospel makes all the promises of the Bible apply to us. And all you have to do is receive it. You have to just receive the good news and believe it, and that's it. Once you do that and allow that will change you. I'm telling you, there's actually no way that it won't change you if you actually believe it. That's all I gotta say. And so I hope that you guys stay blessed and stay tuned for the next video, y'all, as we continue walking through what I needed when I was going through my walk of faith, and I'm giving it to you guys so that you have it. Stay blessed. Stay becoming. Thank you guys for watching this video. I am Brian D. Basinga from Becoming Brian D. I decided to do the intro at the end of this video because I want to just get the message out there. I didn't want to bore you guys too much of all this information, but if you're interested, definitely subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Becoming Brian D, where we become the person who will achieve our dreams. Start early, but it's never too late to start. And so let me know in the comments if there's anything in this video that resonated with you, and let me know what else you guys want me to talk about. But we were going to continue our series of becoming spiritually mature, I think that's what we're going to call it. And I'm going to be growing with you guys. We're going to grow together. We're going to go through it together. So I'll see you guys in the next video.